Dear students, welcome to session 8 of CS 710, Mobile and Pervasive Computing. Today we will continue our discussion on the development of the software for mobile devices. If you remember, last time we discussed that why it is difficult to develop software for pervasive platforms. और ये मुश्किल क्यों होता है? मुश्किल ये इसलिए होता है कि मोबाइल डिवाइसेस या परवेसिव प्लेटफॉर्म्स आर सो मैनी, देयर आर सो मैनी ऑफ देम दैट एग्जिस्ट इन आवर रियल वर्ल्ड. एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पोर्टिंग, बिकॉज आइडली हम यही चाहेंगे कि हम एक सॉफ्टवेयर अगर बनाते हैं तो इट शुड रन ऑन ऑल द डिवाइसेस. जिस तरह अगर हम विंडोज़ के लिए कोई एक सॉफ्टवेयर बनाते हैं तो वी वुड लाइक कि वो तमाम विंडोज़ के वर्जन्स पे चले, चाहे वो एक्सपी हो, चाहे वो विस्टा हो, चाहे वो न्यूएस्ट वर्जन हो 7. इसी तरह जब हम मोबाइल डिवाइसेस के लिए या परवेसिव प्लेटफॉर्म्स के लिए कोई एप्लीकेशन बनाते हैं तो वी वुड लाइक दैट इट शुड रन ऑन ऑल मेकर्स एंड ऑल मॉडल्स. Like it should run on Motorola phone, it should run on Sony Ericsson, it should run on Nokia phones. लेकिन यहाँ पर पोर्टेबिलिटी का मसला आ जाता है. पोर्टेबिलिटी का मसला इसलिए भी आ जाता है because all these manufacturers are making so many models of mobile phones. And then when for the software development it comes to portability, कि आपने एक डिवाइस के लिए बना लिया and now you want to port it to others, the problem arises because now you need access to all these devices and all these platforms जहाँ पर आप इसको deploy करके check कर सकें whether it is working fine or not. Because this is the normal software life cycle that we follow in the desktop development environment. कि आप जब भी कोई software या piece of software develop करते हैं तो if you want it to be portable, then एक मशीन तो वो होती है जिस पे आपने डेवलप किया है, लेट्स से इट वाज रनिंग XP, बट देन यू हैव सम अदर मशीन्स दैट आर डिस्पोजेबल, जिस पे आप विंडोज़ के डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म्स चला रहे होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, ऑन सम मशीन मे बी यू आर रनिंग Windows 7, on some you are maybe running XP Service Pack 1, on some you may be running Vista. Furthermore, if you want your application to run on Linux too, then you would have some machines that would be running Linux, and then you will be developing or making changes accordingly. In Linux, maybe your development cycle is totally different, your source code look totally different from that of Windows. Lekin for an application to be universal, we would definitely like कि हमारी application should be running on all the platforms, because this is how we gain popularity. अगर हम सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप करते हैं फॉर डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन तो वी एंड फ्रॉम कमर्शियल स्टैंड पॉइंट वी वुड फर्स्ट सी दैट विच वन आर feasible platform for deploying these applications. Windows has huge user base, so if we develop for Windows, that means that we have captured a big market chunk. But then we have a large user base who uses Linux too. Similarly, we have in mobile market, we have some Nokia fans, some people prefer Sony Ericsson, some people go for cutting edge mobile phones, some people have BlackBerry. So when we develop a software for a mobile platform, we would like it to run on all the platforms in order for it to gain popularity, or from commercial standpoint, in order for us to make us some money, so that more people will use, more people will buy it, and eventually it will result into our revenue. The heterogeneous platforms, or the differences between platforms in mobile world, are very huge. They exist in two forms. First one is hardware, and second one is software side of it. In hardware side, we have number of versions available of so many things. Some or most of the mobile platforms vary on their screen sizes. Some of them have keyboard, some of them don't. Some of them allow you touch screen, others may not have touch screen. Similarly, on the software side, there are obvious differences in operating systems. There are obvious differences in software development kits. There are obvious differences how your inputs are handled. When we talk about developing software for mobile platforms or pervasive software, there are two issues that we come across immediately. One is heterogeneity of platforms. That is, the platforms are different. And the spectrum of platforms is so very huge that if we start talking about portability, we would be looking at so many devices, so many platforms that it may not be practically possible. Second is, when we talk about pervasive platform or pervasive software, we also talk about context awareness. That is another piece of the puzzle that makes our software development difficult. Context awareness, if you remember, is that your application should be able to modify its behavior according to the circumstances or according to the environment it is operating on. इसके लिए एक जो simple example हमने पढ़ी थी, that was when we are talking about route planning. And how it works is that your mobile phone takes up the GPS coordinates where you are standing, then it asks you कि आपने जाना कहाँ पर है, and then it plans a route between your current place and where you want to go, your destination. अब हुआ ये कि you started driving and you were following the directions जो कि आपको दी गई. In the middle, probably you took a wrong turn. Now, your pervasive application, if it is context aware, it should do two things. One thing it can do is, it can tell you that go back, that you have took a wrong turn, go back to the point where you took the wrong turn and then follow the same directions again. Or it can plan you a new route. That okay, you have taken a wrong turn, लेकिन यहाँ से अगर आप next ये वाले turns ले लें, तो then you will still reach your destination. So this is context awareness, that your device was able to detect that you are not following the directions and at some point you took a detour and it should accordingly adjust itself. The context awareness adds another dimension to the overall complex picture of pervasive software development. इसको हम divide कर लेते हैं that what are the factors that are related to the platform itself, to the devices itself, and what are the factors that are related to the context awareness or the context of the application. When talking about the platform, we are talking about four major factors that affect our software development. The first one was user interface. We define user interface as how a user will interact with the application, the input and output of the application. How user will give input to the application. Second, how the user will see the output of the application. There are a number of ways to provide input to an application in a mobile platform. Unlike desktop application, जहाँ पर आपके पास in most of the cases you have two ways to provide input. One is keyboard and other is mouse. In mobile platform, you can provide input from your keyboard. Some devices offer you keyboard. Some devices have only numeric keypad. Some devices offer you on-screen keyboard. So there are a number of ways that you can provide input to the mobile application. And then how will you show the output of the application? That certainly depends on the resolution of the screen, the size of the screen, the capability of the screen. Is it colored? Is it black and white? And the orientation itself, that are you seeing it in landscape mode or in normal mode? All these matter. The view or the user interface vary so heavily from devices to devices that it is almost eminent to write the user interface for all the devices. In very rare cases, you are able to take one user interface from one device and port it to another. वो हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि what are the techniques that are used in such cases. लेकिन in most cases, as a general rule, आपका user interface is not easy to adopt to different platforms. फिर दूसरा फैक्टर जो हमने डिस्कस किया that was interaction modalities. जहां आपके पास इनपुट के लिए डिफरेंट मेथड्स आ गए, वहां पर आपके लिए इंटरेक्शन के लिए भी नए रास्ते खुल गए. आप हाथ के जरिए इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं, दैट इज यू आर डूइंग कीबोर्ड. आप टच के जरिए इंटरेक्ट कर सकते हैं, आप स्क्रीन को टच करके आप इनपुट दे रहे हैं. आप वॉइस के थ्रू इनपुट दे सकते हैं, दैट इज यू स्पीक अ कमांड एंड मोबाइल शुड बी एबल टू रिकॉग्नाइज इट. और या आप जेस्चर्स के थ्रू भी दे सकते हैं. Some devices are able to find out that you are running. Some devices are able to find out that, okay, the device is at standstill position. And this all can be method of inputs. In some devices, as we discussed last time, comes equipped with accelerometer. That is, if you rotate it, its orientation changes. Accelerometer also helps us find the direction. There are built-in capabilities to find the direction of on which side the device is pointed. That can also be used as a compass too. So all these are interaction modalities. Then the third one is platform capabilities. And platform, as we discussed, can be simple platform, but we are not talking about simple platform here. हम simple platform की बात इसलिए नहीं कर रहे क्योंकि हमने एक शर्त लगा दी बीच में कि हम उन applications की बात करेंगे which requires network connectivity. क्योंकि हमने कहा कि majority of the applications in mobile world are networked, and these are the applications that presents us with exciting opportunities to learn something and make something very creative. So जब हमने networked applications की बात की तो हमारा platform automatically एक distributed platform बन गया. वो इसलिए because now some components of your applications are running on your device and other components of your applications are running on network machines. और हमने कहा था कि जहां भी दो या दो से ज़्यादा प्रोसेसर्स इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे, हम उसको कहेंगे कि ये एक डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड प्लेटफॉर्म है. तो सिमिलरली जब हम नेटवर्क एप्लीकेशंस की मोबाइल वर्ल्ड में बात करते हैं तो वी विल कॉल इट अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड प्लेटफॉर्म. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड प्लेटफॉर्म हमारे लिए किस लिए प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट करता है या कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी क्रिएट करता है? बिकॉज नॉट ओनली वी हैव टू वरी अबाउट कि हमने एक कंपोनेंट जो है वो मोबाइल डिवाइस के लिए क्रिएट करना है जो कि मोबाइल की अपनी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस whatever it is, maybe it's C, maybe it's Java, or whatever it is, we are developing in it. हमने अब एक सर्वर साइड कंपोनेंट भी क्रिएट करना है जिसकी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज मे बी इंटायरली डिफरेंट. वहां पर हम शायद डेटाबेस की सपोर्ट भी दे रहे हो, उसके लिए हम SQL यूज करेंगे, MySQL यूज करें या Oracle यूज करें, whichever we decide to. अगर हम वेब पेज के थ्रू एक्सेस दे रहे हैं तो वी विल प्रॉब्ली क्रिएट अ वेब पेज on JavaScript or simple HTML. But now we have to decide कि कौन सा कंपोनेंट किधर जाएगा और उसके लिए किस चीज में प्रोग्रामिंग की जाएगी. और जब हम ये डिसाइड करेंगे कि कौन सा कंपोनेंट किधर जाएगा तो उससे पहले एक चीज और जो हम डिसाइड करेंगे वो ये डिसाइड करेंगे कि हमारी एप्लीकेशन थिन क्लाइंट होगी या थिक क्लाइंट होगी. दैट इज majority of our application would be running on network computers, yeah, majority of the application would be running on our application except the model जो के network computers पे run होगा. So platform capabilities is another major issue. ये इसलिए भी important हो जाता है because the mobile devices vary in their capacities. Some people might be carrying a very primitive version of Nokia, जिसमें छोटी सी screen है, you will have just a numeric keyboard and it doesn't do any exciting stuff. Other people may have a smartphone, full keyboard, GPS functionality and all the perks that comes with a smartphone. लेकिन our components should be planned so wisely that whichever platform we pick up, our application should be able to run correctly. And last but not least, in differences comes the connectivity. Whenever you talk about network connectivity, we are talking about that, okay, what about this assumption or this fundamental rule that smartness of spaces vary. अगर हम लाइब्रेरी में हैं तो शायद वहाँ पर हमारी कनेक्टिविटी डिफरेंट होगी एज कम्पेयर टू अ क्लासरूम. एक कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में शायद we will be getting a different signal than an outside in the ground. So the smartness of spaces vary, and when the smartness of spaces vary, our connectivity varies. So application should be such dynamic application that it should take into account all these factors that, okay, the user may change his position. At this point, he might be getting full connectivity and everything is running perfect. लेकिन जब यूजर मूव करके इस पॉइंट से लेकर उस पॉइंट तक जाता है तो वहां पर शायद कनेक्टिविटी डिफरेंट हो जाए बिकॉज ऑफ नंबर ऑफ रीजंस दैट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड बिफोर. और जब ये कनेक्टिविटी डिफरेंट हो जाएगी तो देयर मे बी केसेस कि यहां पर आई एम गेटिंग अ डिग्रेडेड कनेक्टिविटी या मेरे पास बिल्कुल भी कनेक्टिविटी ना हो, मैं यहां पर इस वक्त एक डेड स्पॉट पे खड़ा हूं. हाउ वुड माई एप्लीकेशन रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट? और इससे एक रिलेटेड जो क्वेश्चन था दैट वाज ऑफ disconnected operations, that any mobile device or any mobile application that is built with network connectivity in mind should take into account the degraded connections. It shouldn't always assume that, okay, I will always get maximum connectivity. There may be cases where you are getting degraded or no connectivity at all. How would you perform at that point? Should you totally stopped working? And yes, there are cases when you prefer that you should stop working because your dependence on network is so high that you can't do anything. And we will discuss those applications, that what are those applications and what are the scenarios जिसमें we prefer that in disconnected mode we shouldn't operate at all. But in some other cases we devise alternates that, okay, connectivity is lost, लेकिन अगर मेरे पास डिग्रेडेड कनेक्टिविटी आ रही है तो मैं इसको इस तरीके से ऑपरेट करूंगा. और अगर आई एम टोटली डिसकनेक्टेड तो दीज आर द स्ट्रेटजीज दैट आई विल अडॉप्ट टू मेक श्योर that I am working to some extent even if I am disconnected. So all these things come under the connectivity area. So these four things: platform capabilities, connectivities, interaction modality, and user interface. These are the four things that comes under the pervasive platform or the heterogeneity of pervasive platform. Then comes the context aware dimension of it. That, okay, we have covered this dimension, but what about the environment we are operating on? Again, environment vary a lot. Connectivity again is your environment. So when the environment vary, how would you perform? Again, in context awareness, there are two things that define the differences or heterogeneity of context awareness. The first one is dynamicism and the second one is heterogeneity. The dynamicism of context aware environment is defined as that there are number of devices or there are number of ways by which you can get the information from the environment or information about the environment. सिंपली जीपीएस को ही अगर हम ले लें तो जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स मालूम करने के देयर आर नंबर ऑफ वेज. One way of getting a GPS coordinate is through network itself. आपका जो GPRS network है, it will help you in determining the network coordinates. दूसरा तरीका directly satellite के through है, that you go to the satellite and you retrieve your GPS coordinates. You can even retrieve your GPS coordinates through the Wi-Fi's. कुछ और methods अगर हम discuss करें तो even maybe smart tag can help you retrieve your GPS coordinates. So there are a number of ways from where you can get the information on your environment. ये तो सिर्फ GPS की हो गई. Environment अगर आपको याद हो तो it also includes that what are you trying to achieve and who is using the phone. Now there are multiple ways of detecting the user of the application. One simple way could be just the GPS location. That okay, if it's being used in the office, maybe it's just the person, the owner of the phone itself. Or the login information. If the login is enabled on the application, then the owner of the phone or those persons who have had access to the application, that is their logins exist on that device, would be using that. It can even be the combination of things. One simple combination would be that if the GPS location is equal to the office and Microsoft Office is being used, then maybe the Mr. A, who is owner of this device, is using it. But if the GPS location is home and some game is being played, then maybe Mr. A's kid is using this application. So this is just some primitive methods of detecting the user of the application. And then what are you trying to achieve? In routing application, you are trying to find a route between point A and point B. If you are using Microsoft Office, then you are typing a letter or typing a document. Even if you use Microsoft Office in desktop environment, you would detect that if you start a line, it would try to aid you in completing your document. That is, a little icon will pop up and say, looks like you're writing a resume, or looks like you are writing a referral letter, or looks like you are writing a report. And then it will suggest you a format, that this is a format, and you will fill in the appropriate places. So all this comes in the context awareness and the dynamicism of the information that is available. There are a number of ways from where you can get all this information. The second comes the heterogeneity of this context awareness. And that comes from the fact that not all the applications or not all the devices that are giving you information provide you information in same format. Some application might prefer data exchange in XML format. Other applications might give you information in just plain binary, yes or no. Some other application might just give you a simple number. So there is a variety of information exchange methods that exist. And now consider that your application has to take into account all of this. Not only it has to consider that where the application is coming from, it also has to consider that which format the application is coming from. ज़रूरी नहीं है कि अगर वाईफाई से आ रही हो तो it will always be the signal strength. Maybe some Wi-Fi's are equipped with GPS और वो आपको directly आपके GPS coordinate पकड़ा दे. Or they would have mechanism कि जिसके through वो आपके GPS coordinates retrieve करें from the server or from the satellite and then give you the GPS coordinates. So all this adds up to the complexity of writing a pervasive application. Now, how can we deal with all this dynamicism, how we can deal with all this heterogeneity. ये जो differences exist करते हैं, how can we bridge them? The answer that people come up with was to write platform independent components. That instead of targeting to one specific device or targeting one specific operating system, why don't we build the software in such a way that it is not specific to any particular device or operating system, but it is platform independent. और ये हम किस तरीके से कर सकते हैं? ये हम बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से कर सकते हैं जिस तरीके से हम ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड पढ़ते हैं, ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग पढ़ते हैं. वी राइट अ जेनेरिक क्लास. एक क्लास हम लिखते हैं जिसमें हम तमाम फंक्शनैलिटीज लिख देते हैं रिगार्डलेस ऑफ वेदर दे विल बी यूज्ड और नॉट. और उसके बाद वी यूज दैट क्लास टू राइट डिराइव्ड फंक्शनैलिटी. एक हमारी पेरेंट क्लास होती है जिसके अंदर से हम तमाम फंक्शनैलिटी यूज करते हैं डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट फंक्शन वी आर ट्राइंग टू अचीव. In some cases, we might use only few of them. In some cases, we might use all of the functions. Model view controller software architecture that we discussed last time is such example of an object-oriented software development. क्या आपने objects बना लिया, आपने view का एक object बना लिया, आपने मॉडल का एक ऑब्जेक्ट बना लिया, एंड देन यू मेड एन ऑब्जेक्ट ऑफ कंट्रोलर. आपके पास 3 ऑब्जेक्ट्स आ गए, एंड नाउ यू वुड हैव लेवरेज टू राइट देम इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ईच अदर. दिस इज व्हाट मॉडल व्यू कंट्रोलर स्टैंड्स फॉर, और दिस इज व्हाट ऑब्जेक्ट ओरिएंटेड प्रोग्रामिंग स्टैंड्स फॉर. दैट ईच क्लास और ईच ऑब्जेक्ट इज autonomous. All the functionality contained in that one object or class belongs to only that one, and it would have helping functions that will help you interact with other objects or classes. So, taking up model view controller, because we discussed it thoroughly, and we will see how would we develop platform independent software modules for pervasive platforms. पहली चीज ले लेते हैं व्यू. Writing view, as I earlier said, wouldn't be that simple, because view is something that ultimately has to be plotted on the device itself. That means that it will be using some of the device capabilities. So again, how would it happen that we will write a piece of software and make it run on multiple devices? One way of doing it is called transcoding, application transcoding. The idea of application transcoding is that you write a piece of software and you put it on server. You make a parent class, say for example, a parent view class, and you put it on the server. The contents are sent to the device based on who is accessing it. A very common example मैं आपको देता हूँ कि आप अगर किसी साइट पे जाएं तो it will come, जो कि बहुत heavy हो graphics में, they have used Flash and they would have used so many graphical elements that the page itself has become very heavy to load. तो जब आप उस साइट पे जाते हैं तो it detects कि आपकी bandwidth कितनी है. If you are using the high bandwidth, then it would use the normal Flash page and show you all the heavy graphics. But if the application detects or the server detects that you are coming from a low bandwidth connection, then it would either ask you that whether you would like to load a Flash page, and it would warn you that it's heavy graphics, so it might take you longer. Or it would just plain load you simple plain page that have less graphics, most of the text, so that it can be loaded correctly and quickly. So this is the concept of transcoding, that on the server all the contents are placed, and then based on which device or which connection is trying to fetch that content, the transcoding proxies modify the contents accordingly. This makes the application independent view portion, that regardless of what is present in the server, only the relevant content is sent to the application itself, depending on, number one, the device itself. If you're coming from a desktop, maybe you will see a different version, but if you're coming from a mobile device with the limited screen size, maybe you will see a different version. Secondly, the connection itself. If you're coming from high bandwidth, you will probably the application will probably load for you a different version of the web page than as compared to when you are coming from a low bandwidth area. So this makes the platform independent view, or this adds something independent of the platform. The second aspect or second dimension that we will see is how to develop platform independent controller. And why is it important? Why it is important to make a platform independent controller? Controller, if you remember, decides how your application will move from one place to another, or how your application will transit from one place to another, or make transition from one state to another. This is usually represented by state diagrams or flow charts, that if user press this button, then do this action, if user do this, then do this. So this is the controller component. How can you make a controller component platform independent? We will see that, but first, why making a platform independent controller is necessary? Because on the face of it, it might look कि controller तो शायद वैसे ही platform independent है, because all it is defining is कि आपकी application ने route कौन सा लेना है. Very true. लेकिन वो route या वो transition करने के काफ़ी सारे तरीके हो सकते हैं. In some cases, और मैं डेस्कटॉप की एग्जांपल अगेन लेता हूँ और वेब पेज पे ये भी स्टिक करते हैं, दैट यू लोड अ वेब पेज ऑन a desktop computer and all the web page came in, it has some contents, and then you would have next and previous buttons. The same content, because we have transcoding proxies deployed, जब वो मोबाइल पे लोड होता है तो चूंकि उसमें कंटेंट बहुत ज़्यादा है तो द ट्रांसकोडिंग प्रॉक्सी डिसाइड्स कि इसको दो हिस्सों में ब्रेक कर देते हैं. द फर्स्ट वन विल शो दिस मच and the second one shows this much. Ab, in this case, as compared to the desktop environment, जहाँ पर आप next दबाते थे तो आप 1 से 2 पे चले जाते थे. Page 1 was showing and you push a button next or you next arrow आप दबाते थे तो वो आप page 2 पे चले जाते थे. But now in this, the modified case, in case of mobile environment, जब आप next का बटन दबाएंगे तो you are not going on page 2, but you are going to page 1A, for example. Or it would be page 2, but it wouldn't be same as page 2 on the desktop environment, because mobile environment के लिए transcoding proxy ने आपके pages को दो हिस्सों में break कर दिया. So if you have total of 15 pages, now you would have total of 30 pages. And accordingly, your transitions are not different. आपने अगर inbox दिया हुआ है तो inbox का अगर एक link दिया हुआ है तो inbox also is divided into multiple ones. How would you decide कि जी inbox पे तो चलेगा लेकिन inbox के अंदर जो multiple pages हैं, how would you show them? So similarly, like we did with the view portion of the application, the same thing we would do for the controller one in order to write platform independent execution. The way we will achieve it is that now we will have additional constructs or additional methods of transitions that would be part of our flowchart or our state transition diagram. The only difference would be that this additional components will only kick in when we are running on the mobile devices. For example, the next in mobile devices, and that transition would only kick in when we are working on the mobile device. So when we fetch the content from the transcoding server, it will send the content accordingly. But when we are operating in the normal desktop environment, these additional transitions or the flows, they wouldn't kick in, they wouldn't be used. Now the final piece of the puzzle, and the final piece of the puzzle being the model, and the most important one. That is the whole logic, the component that takes care of the complete logic of the application. How would we write that component such as that it would also be platform independent? How would we do that? पहले तो ये अंडरस्टैंड कर लें कि मॉडल का काम क्या है, और उसके बाद हम चलते हैं इस बात पे कि हम उसको प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंट किस तरीके से करेंगे. मॉडल in model view controller is almost same as the architecture of the application, logic of the application. That how would the logic works in the complete application? Where would be your data stores? आपकी data कहाँ पर store होंगे, किस format में store होंगे? How would data be retrieved from those stores? How the logic of application would work? All this is the model part. और client thick हो या thin, in any case आपका model जो है that resides in your server or the network element. So model को access करने के लिए you always go to the server to find out what to do next. मैं आपको एक example देता हूँ, और examples I purposely keep the examples as same because I would like you to grasp the idea without indulging too much on the complexity of the example itself. तो हम same example repeatedly use कर रहे हैं. At some point we will change, लेकिन अभी for the time being I just stick myself to the route planning application again. You're supposed to write an application that will do the route planning, or the way it is written is it will detect your current coordinates, that would be point A. It will find out where you want to go from user input or from user habits, whatever the method would be. That would be your destination or point B, and the application would draw a route from point A to point B. My question here is, what would you term it as? आप इसको क्या नाम देंगे? Is it a thick client or is it a thin client? इसमें अगर आप सोचें तो मॉडल जो कि राउट प्लानिंग वाला है, the route planning element which is the core of your application itself, it will reside on the server nonetheless. As I just said, कि मॉडल in any case thick client हो या thin client हो, वो सर्वर पे ही reside करता है. बाकी रह गए हमारे पास दो कंपोनेंट्स. एक कंपोनेंट है जीपीएस वाला जो कि मेरी करंट लोकेशन डिटेक्ट करता है, और एक कंपोनेंट है मेरी डेस्टिनेशन को फाइंड आउट करने वाला जो कि ये फाइंड आउट करता है कि मैंने जाना कहाँ पर है. तो राउट प्लानिंग के अलावा आई हैव टू अदर कंपोनेंट्स, द जीपीएस वन एंड द डेस्टिनेशन वन. हाउ वुड यू term this application, or if you are asked to write this application, how would you decide that which side goes where? Is it a thin client or is it a thick client? This is the main question here. I'll let you think about it, and we will go on discussing model further, that when we are talking about device independent models, what would it mean? But this is major question when you are dealing with any application in mobile environment. This is the question that you will always face when making a mobile application or the pervasive application, that how would you divide the functionality among the network elements. Whether you would want your application to be a thin client application or you would like your application to be a thick client application. This is the major question, and it would affect the model of the application too. Consider this, that view, in any case, whether it's a thick client or thin client, your view would probably remain the same because the same input or output is being shown to the end user. And the flow of application should also remain the same. Why? Because when you change the flow of application or the orientation of the application itself, you are telling user that there is something different behind the scenes. When you are giving the user this hint कि पीछे कुछ different हो गया है, there is a surprise for the user. कैसे कि पहले तो वो उसी डिवाइस पे जब वो नेक्स्ट करता था तो उसको एक डिफरेंट कंटेंट नजर आता था, अब उसको वो जब नेक्स्ट करता है तो उसको एक डिफरेंट कंटेंट नजर आता है. मोबाइल डिवाइस की बात कर रहे हैं, तो दैट मीन्स कि चूंकि उसकी कनेक्टिविटी चेंज हुई, वो वाईफाई से फॉर एग्जांपल जीपीआरएस पे चला गया, जीपीआरएस पे चूंकि गया तो वो जो उसकी बैंडविड्थ थी वो डिक्रीज हुई. जब बैंडविड्थ डिक्रीज हुई तो ट्रांसकोडर प्रॉक्सी ने डिसाइड किया कि अब मैं इसको एक की बजाय एक से दो की पे लेके जाने की बजाय मैं एक ही पेज को दो हिस्सों में डिवाइड करूंगा और आई विल शो हिम टू वन ए एंड वन बी, एंड यूजर विल फाइंड आउट कि यही पेजेस इसी डिवाइस पे थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने जब एक्सेस किए तो इट वाज डिफरेंट एंड नाउ इट इज डिफरेंट. यू हैव प्रेजेंटेड यूजर विद, और अकॉर्डिंगली आपका कंट्रोलर भी चेंज हो गया. जहां पर आप 1 से 2 पे जा रहे थे वहां से आप 1A से 1B पे जा रहे हैं. जब ये दोनों चीजें डिफरेंट हुई तो यूजर को एक सरप्राइज मिला. जब यूजर को सरप्राइज मिला तो देन ही वेंट बिहाइंड द सीन्स टू फाइंड आउट कि ये क्या मसला हुआ. आपकी एप्लीकेशन जो है वो सब कॉन्शियस से निकल कर कॉन्शियस में आ गई. दैट मीन्स अब आपकी एप्लीकेशन, वो जो परवेसिव का एक हमने कीवर्ड रखा हुआ था, दैट इट इज इनविजिबल टेक्नोलॉजी बिकॉज इट प्रेजेंट्स यूजर्स विद लेस सरप्राइजेस, वो एक एलिमेंट खत्म हो गया. व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड हेयर इज कि आपका यूजर इंटरफेस भी सेम रहे, आपका कंट्रोलर भी सेम रहे, पीछे मॉडल should be able to handle these things without involving user or without presenting users with much of the surprises. जब connectivity की बात आ जाती है तो this model plays a very important role. The way the architecture of the application is designed depends very much on the connectivity itself. और इसमें अभी थोड़ी देर पहले मैंने कहा कि there are some instances where your application might stop working altogether. वो कौन सा इंस्टेंस हो सकता है? Let's say मेरी एप्लीकेशन बहुत सिंपल है, उसने सिर्फ जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स लेने हैं और आई एम इंडोर. अब इंडोर जब मैं हूं तो मेरा सैटेलाइट से कनेक्शन जो है वो इमीडिएटली ब्रेक हो गया. When you are indoor, normally you can't get GPS coordinates from the satellite itself. अब आपकी जो दूसरा आपके पास ऑप्शन है वो है वाईफाई वाला या जीपीआरएस वाला. Now I am at a dead spot, meaning being कि मेरे पास ना वाईफाई की कनेक्टिविटी है ना मेरे पास जीपीआरएस की कनेक्टिविटी है. So my all connections are broken and now I can't do anything. That means the application would stop responding. So this is one just simple example of where the applications stop working because the connectivity is not there. These kind of applications are normally thin client applications. In thin client applications, what happens is that you have the user component with you usually and or on the device, and the controller and the model is working on the network element or on the server. अच्छा, यहां पर एक और सवाल आ जाता है और वो बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. वो ये है कि ये जो आप यूजर इंटरफेस डिफाइन करते हैं किसी भी एप्लीकेशन का, हाउ वुड दैट बी डिवाइस इंडिपेंडेंट। उसको कैसे हम डिवाइस इंडिपेंडेंट कर सकते हैं? अगर आप सोचें कि ठीक है, एक एप्लीकेशन है, उसमें 4 बटन्स लगे हुए हैं, इट हैज़ अ प्रॉपर UI, आप उन बटन्स को प्रेस करते हैं, इट डज सम फंक्शनैलिटी, और then you port this application to another device. अब you will still need those 4 buttons. आप उन 4 buttons को अगर नहीं दिखाएंगे तो what would you do? How would your application would progress? तो हम ये या तो ये है, एक तरीका तो इसका बड़ा सिंपल ज़हन में आता है कि ठीक है, वी विल राइट द कंपोनेंट, जिस तरह हमने वो सुपर क्लास की एक बात की थी कि हम तमाम फंक्शनैलिटीज़ एक क्लास में लिख लेते हैं और फिर अकॉर्डिंगली हम उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते रहते हैं जिस प्लेटफॉर्म पे यूज़ होगा, जो ट्रांजिशन से, फॉर एग्जांपल इन सम प्लेटफॉर्म्स दोस ट्रांजिशन वुडंट यूज़, in other platforms that transitions might be used. लेकिन ये तो एक बड़ा जनरल केस है। आप जब भी डेस्कटॉप के लिए भी कोई एप्लीकेशन लिखते हैं तो you will take care of these transitions, that okay, if I am at point A in my program, my possibilities are B, C and D. But if I am point Z, then my possibility is just to go back at A and I can't do anything else. So these kind of things are very common in desktop environment, that you plan all the routes that your application would take and you write the functionality. Some paths are such that might not be taken during the whole life cycle of your application. लेकिन कुछ path ऐसे होंगे जो कि बड़ी frequently जो है वो आपकी application execute करे। वहाँ तक तो बात ठीक है, because normal डेस्कटॉप इन्वायरमेंट में भी हम चूंकि इसी तरह करते हैं, तो व्हाई नॉट वी डू इट फॉर कंट्रोलर्स एंड व्हाई डोंट वी डू इट फॉर मोबाइल इन्वायरमेंट? वेल एंड गुड। लेकिन जब ये यूआई कंपोनेंट्स की बात आती है, जब ये व्यूज की बात आती है, तो इसको किस तरह हैंडल करेंगे? मैंने एक बटन बनाया बड़ा फैंसी सा, उसकी रेजोल्यूशन, उसकी जो डायमेंशन है वो 400x500 है, से फॉर एग्जांपल, जस्ट एन हाइपोथेटिकल केस, और वो एक प्लेटफॉर्म में सही चल रहा है, लेकिन जब मैं दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म में जाना चाहता हूँ तो उस दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म की तो रिस्ट्रिक्शन है कि जी आप 200x200 से बड़ा बटन बना ही नहीं सकते। नाउ व्हाट वुड आई डू? पहले वाले प्लेटफॉर्म में जो है वो मैंने फॉन्ट एक टाइप का फॉन्ट यूज किया हुआ है, दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म में जाता हूँ तो वो प्लेटफॉर्म में वो फॉन्ट अवेलेबल ही नहीं है, एंड व्हेन आई सब्स्टिट्यूट दैट font type, तो I get garbage because it wouldn't understand, या उसकी aesthetics तबाह हो जाती हैं सारी। तो what would I do? एक तरीका तो ये है कि मैं वही ट्रांसकोडिंग पॉलिसीज यूज करूं, और मैं इस तरह कर लेता हूं कि I write the buttons for all, or the UI components for all the platforms, and then I use the UI or the transcoding policies to disperse those UI elements as and when the platform changes. मैं जब सिमियन के एनवायरनमेंट में होता हूँ तो इट विल सेंड अ 400x500 बटन टू बी ड्रॉन, एंड व्हेन आई एम ऑन आईफोन एनवायरनमेंट फॉर एग्जांपल, इट विल सेंड अ 200x200 बटन। वेल एंड गुड। लेकिन हुआ क्या, मेरी प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंस सारी खत्म हो गई। आई एम नॉट प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंट एनी मोर। सिर्फ ये हो रहा है कि मैं इंटेलिजेंटली अपने कंपोनेंट्स को राउट कर रहा हूँ, बट आई हैव रिटन ऑल द कंपोनेंट्स। जो वो मेरी पोर्टेबिलिटी वाली चीज थी, आई हैवंट टेकन केयर ऑफ इट। मैंने हर प्लेटफॉर्म के लिए अपना कंपोनेंट लिखा हुआ है, एंड ऑल आई एम डूइंग इज इंटेलिजेंटली प्लेसिंग माय कंपोनेंट्स बेस्ड ऑन who is coming to request for that content. What could be the other way round? That is very interesting question here कि इसको हम किस तरीके से प्लेटफॉर्म इंडिपेंडेंट कर सकते हैं, that I don't have to write for all the platforms. And here the web technologies comes to our help. अगर आप कोई कंपोनेंट वेब में लिखते हैं और in the form of web page लिखते हैं, so you will notice that in most of the cases everything appears as is. Why? Because the web technologies are mostly platform independent. All they depend on the browser In most cases, yes, in some cases your platform is very important, but in most cases it depends on the browser or the screen resolution you are opening it. और browser आपको text box लगाने देते हैं, yes, they do help you with that. Browsers आपको buttons लगाने देते हैं, yes, same, they would help you do that. आपको उसमें text embed करने देते हैं, yes, that is also a possibility. And they will, again, with the help of transcoding policies, they will manage the bandwidth issues or screen resolution issues. So this is one way of handling this UI primitive. In thin client, जहाँ पर मेरे पास minimum चीजें आपके client में चल रही हैं, one way of showing the user with the user interface या user interface के component दिखाने का एक तरीका ये भी होता है that you write everything on a web page. और जब वो एप्लीकेशन लोड होती है, all it does is that it brings up the web page to you and you do all the input and उसी वेब पेज पे आपका आउटपुट नजर आ जाता है. थिन क्लाइंट, चूंकि आपका कंट्रोलर आपके सर्वर पे पड़ा हुआ है, आपका मॉडल आपके सर्वर पे पड़ा हुआ है, एंड मेजॉरिटी ऑफ योर यूआई कंपोनेंट्स आर आल्सो कमिंग फ्रॉम द सर्वर, द डिसकनेक्टेड ऑपरेशंस in thin clients are not possible. Why? Because all you are doing is doing input and output on the device itself. आपकी जो लॉजिक है, आपका डेटा है, आपके लॉजिक ने किस तरह फ्लो करना है, how all this will happen is on the server. And when you don't have connectivity, there you go. Your application can't continue anymore. राउट प्लानिंग की अगर एग्जांपल लें तो आपने जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स भी अपने ले लिए, आपने सर्वर के थ्रू आपने कनेक्ट कर लिया, आपने सैटेलाइट से कनेक्ट कर लिया और आपने जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स ले लिए. आपके पास वाईफाई कनेक्टिविटी भी नहीं है, आपके पास जीपीआरएस कनेक्टिविटी भी नहीं है, लेकिन आपके पास सैटेलाइट कनेक्टिविटी है. आपने सैटेलाइट से कनेक्ट किया, आपने उससे अपने कोऑर्डिनेट्स लिए, आपने यूजर से पूछा अच्छा आपने जाना कहाँ है, यूजर ने कहा मैंने पॉइंट बी पे जाना है, आपने वो भी ले लिया. अब आपके पास स्टार्ट पॉइंट एंड पॉइंट दोनों आपके पास है और आपको पता भी है कि आपने क्या करना है, आपने राउट प्लानिंग करनी है. लेकिन राउट प्लानिंग वाला जो कंपोनेंट है वो आपके सर्वर पे पड़ा हुआ है एंड यू डोंट हैव कनेक्टिविटी एनीमोर. सो दैट मींस दैट यू कांट कंटिन्यू विद दिस एप्लीकेशन. सो दिस इज द bottleneck of thin client application. The second one in this is thick client application. The difference between thick client and thin client is that model still resides on the server, but thick client also have controller and the view in the application. अब इसमें leverage क्या आ जाती है आपके पास? इसमें आपके पास leverage ये आ जाती है कि now you know कि अच्छा now you have additional functions at your disposal. वो additional functions क्या है? You can do caching, say for example, that you know that your connectivity is poor, so you cache data. You predict ahead of time that okay, the user is moving like this, he is going in serials, that first he accessed page 1, then he accessed page 2, then he accessed page 3. So depending on the memory available, maybe all on total number of pages is 10, so maybe on you decide that okay, let's bring all the pages all together. Let me put all the pages within me in my cache so that even if I lose the connectivity, I would still have the option to show all these pages. It wouldn't matter to the user that, okay, now the connectivity is not there. In other cases, when you're accessing a database and you did caching and you did a pretty good job and you have all the data, whatever the user required, the problem came that user changed something in those data. Now the data is inconsistent because you have a different version of data because you changed it, but the enterprise data is different. What the controller might do is that it would plan a resynchronization whenever the connection is available. So whenever the connection becomes available, it immediately resynchronizes itself. Meanwhile, it doesn't tell the user that okay, your connection is lost or I can't connect to the database or whatever. It lets the user make all the changes, all the data is there, it saves the changes locally, and as soon a connection becomes available, it updates or synchronizes the enterprise data. So it becomes consistent again. That is an additional advantage of having controller on with you on the device. This is thick client application, where you have user interface and the controller working on the device itself, and the model itself is on the server. Model also includes your data stores, and all those things. The third kind of application is autonomous applications, where your model, your controller, and your view, all three things are present on the device itself. In this case, as you might imagine, that okay, disconnected operations are very much possible because you are not relying on connectivity majorly. What are these kind of applications? These kind of applications might be your operating systems, which can run on their own, but when patches are needed or when some updates are needed, it will connect to a server and bring that piece and patch it itself, and then it will continue. So this is how thick client, thin client, and autonomous applications works. So we talked about three things, that how we can make them platform independent. First of all, why it is important to make them platform independent, and second, how we can make them platform independent. That is by following the model view controller or the object oriented paradigm. We talked about how we make the view component platform independent. We talked about how we can make controller component platform independent, and then we talked about how we can make a controller component platform independent. Next, we will this is the part where we deal with the platform itself. Next time we will start talking about how can we handle the dynamicism or heterogeneity of the context awareness devices. And we will continue and see how we can make those platform independent so that we don't have to write these components over and over again. Till then, I'm Abdul Aziz signing off. See you next time.